Welcome back, guys. We're here again with another special guest. This is my former travel buddy that joined us here today. She's a featured model in FHM, MAXIM and Sports Illustrated. She's a former cover model for Playboy on the Philippines. And she's also a featured model for Fashion Nova and Yandy. And she is the owner of Bella Model Management. Please welcome Miss Tawny Jordan. Tawny, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you?
Great. I'm really glad to have you here. When I told my friends that you were going to come on the show, the first question that they all had is, where the fuck has Tawny been? Where has Tawny? Tawny has disappeared, and Tawny was here all the time, and now she's gone. So, Tawny, where have you been?
So I've been in, since the pandemic, I was here, and then I realized, hey, I could live anywhere and work from a computer, yada yada. Vegas shut down. So I went to Chicago for about now over a year. And it's been interesting, the world is picking back up. And I realize, I still can, work from anywhere. But I do come back and forth from Vegas to Chicago. And, I was out there actually for a relationship. And I broke up with him, so it's been a couple months, and now I'm ready to get back to it and come back to the city. And, I have my place out there in Chicago, but I do love Vegas a lot. It's just a totally different lifestyle.
Well, you already answered the second question that all my friends had.
What was the second question?
You broke up with him. All right. So
wait. What was the exact question? Did you break up with?
No,
or
just
are you in
a bunch of my friends were like, "Hey, what happened to Tawny? She left the city, and then it's like she was booed up with some dude, and then all of a sudden now she's back." And I was like, "That's the first thing I wanted to ask you." Now, Tawny, it's funny because I've heard you do other podcasts, and you're like, "I'm from this little town called Peoria, Illinois." We know where Peoria, Illinois is.
Not everybody knows where Peoria, Illinois is.
So what was it like growing up there?
Peoria is the third biggest city in Illinois. Don't, check me on that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's gotten smaller. I don't know. But Caterpillar is from Peoria.
Okay.
Bradley University is in Peoria. Yeah. There's actually a couple of famous people from Peoria. Sean Livingston, basketball.
Yeah,
star.
I know Sean. Yeah, played for the 76ers, the Warriors. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was in there, and a couple other people were in there, and they have this famous saying, "If it plays in Peoria."
Yeah.
I don't know. I've heard that before. But Peoria is a very interesting city. I grew up there, and I lived there till I was 21, and then I moved to Chicago. And people would be like, "Oh, where are you from?" So for a while, I would just say Chicago because not everybody knew where's Peoria.
Yeah.
But some people actually do, and now, as time grows, people definitely know where Peoria is now. So, originally from Peoria, but lived in Chicago a couple different times.
And then you moved to Chicago when you're 21. You lived in Wrigleyville, and you from there you start modeling. Can you talk about your move to Chicago? Why did you want to move to Chicago in the first place? What was it? There's usually, so for instance, for me, I came out here for the NBA All-Star game, probably like 07, something like that.
Okay.
And I was here for a week, and I was like, yeah, fuck this. I'm going to move to Vegas. I know 100% I'm moving here. It was no doubt. I spent the whole week here, and I remember going
out. It's a very popular week to come.
Yeah, but I spent the whole week, and I went out to some nightclubs on a Tuesday, and I was like, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's a Tuesday night. I was like, I'm going to live here.
Where are you from originally?
I'm from Dallas. Yeah, but I was living in Austin, and then I moved before I joined the military. I was still in the military when I was here. I was at McConnell Air Force Base when I first came here.
Okay.
And then I was like, yeah, I'm definitely going to move to Vegas.
Oh, cool.
So going back, so what is the moment for you? You decide I gotta move to Chicago. What was going on?
So I was in Peoria, and I remember my girlfriend, I think we were at Splashdown. Yeah. Which is a pool, water park in the city.
Okay.
It's in East Peoria. And she was like, why don't you just move to Chicago? I have a place, we have an extra room, it's a 3-bedroom in Wrigleyville. And I'm like, oh, maybe, I don't know. And so I was actually going to Chicago a lot for work. And Peoria is about 2 hours and 45 minutes away from Chicago.
Yeah.
So I would just be traveling back and forth a lot. And so I was like, you know what? If I really want to, continue modeling, I'd rather be here than, this is the closest city to me that I can actually make money at. There's not really a huge modeling scene in Peoria. There was a little bit, that's where I started. But if I wanted to grow, I had to go somewhere bigger, So that was my next best choice. And it was the best choice. My first real big gig in Chicago was working the Mayweather and Canelo conference.
Okay.
For ring girling. And I didn't start that till I was 21. So I was doing more of that stuff and I was like, oh, maybe I should move out here. And that's kind of like when I decided that.
All right. So let's talk about that. You have mentioned this before. You had a mentor when
Yes.
it came to modeling. You met this person when you were in Chicago?
Yeah. So actually, I am, fun fact, I am a college and beauty school dropout.
Okay. Both. That's
Yes,
incredible.
I am both. But I don't regret it. It's all good. Actually, I got accepted to an art school in Chicago. I did not go.
Okay.
I didn't intend because I was just too focused on something else. And the person I was with didn't really want me to, go into that. And, being young and dumb, I was like, okay, but now I always follow what's best for me.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So what was your question?
Your mentor. You said you had
Yes,
you
my
had a
mentor.
mentor. Was
Yes,
this
yes,
the
yes.
person getting you the Mayweather fight? Like what
Yeah,
was this
so-
like early modeling?
So that person, I met on my own through just doing my like jobs and stuff, like social media networking. My mentor. So we met before that. Actually, I was 19, just was in beauty school, and I was dating a guy who was in a pretty popular like rock band, like post-hardcore band, did a lot of like Warped Tour stuff. And he was traveling the world, and it was very aspiring because I was like, oh, I love to travel, And he was coming back from Australia to go to LA and had a show there during Halloween. So he played his show. I surprised him. And then we ended up breaking up. But, it's crazy because like when one, bad thing happens, another great thing happens. So I think I was 19 at the time. And I got a message from a model manager, and she was just like, hey, I love this photo. It's really cool. It's like, it's just different.
Is this Model Mayhem? Or is this Facebook?
No.
Is this MySpace? Where is this happening?
Man, I think it was Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah. So she saw my portfolio there, and, we just had a conversation, and it just like, it changed my whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she wanted to sign me and represent me as a manager, and she, she's no longer alive. She passed away a couple years ago, and she was a huge mentor in my life. She was like a second mom to me, honestly. Yeah. So
I was like the third mom.
maybe fourth.
Listen, we're going to talk about the bikini competitions. I was there for all of it. I have all the video.
So you're more like a dad.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. Now, you are, as far as modeling is concerned, right? You have a very unique ethnicity in that you have
Yes.
all of them.
I
Your
guess so.
ethnicity
I'm
is like
ambiguous, I
your ethnicity is all of them. What is your ethnicity?
I'm a lot. What do you think I am?
I know because I listen.
Okay.
so
Okay.
you go.
Okay. So I'm Filipino, Chinese, Spanish, Swedish, Irish, German, English. Like
Yeah, just all these conquering nations all together
so
in one.
I am a mixing pot.
She's the Khal Drogo, the female Khal Drogo. It's incredible. All right, cool. So it's just a very unique thing. And then modeling, was it something that just came easy to you? Was it very quick, or was this a difficult transition? For a lot of girls, they'll get into it. I'll meet girls all the time. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you've met them too. They'll live here in Las Vegas. They'll make, $200K a year as a bottle server. And you'll be like, hey, do you want to come to this modeling shoot? It's like, no, I don't want to model. I just want to be a bottle server. And I'm like, well, like Instagram, you should probably do this. And they don't want to do it. They don't feel comfortable in front of a camera, right? You were kind of the opposite. You lived here, did not do bottle service, and you were modeling.
Yes.
Can you talk about like the original necessity for it? You did it. You're like, this is what I want to do. 100%. I know that I want to do this. What was that inflection point for you?
Just continuing with modeling in general.
And the feedback you were getting from it.
Yeah. So when I was living in Chicago, I knew, I wanted just to continue modeling and, just seeing where it took me. Like, I loved the traveling, the networking. Like, it wasn't guaranteed. At that time, everybody was like, oh, you need to go to college. You need to do this. You need to do that. And I was just always following what felt right to me. And I was going back and forth to Vegas a lot. So my manager signed me to an agency out here in Vegas, and I was coming back and forth a lot for several years. And they were like, "Why don't you move to, why don't you move here to Vegas?" And I was like, "I don't know. I never thought about that. I was either going to pick LA or Miami." And I was like, "Oh, I'll take a look around." And I took a look around, and I've looked at as in one place. I looked at one place, and it was awesome. Like I was like floor to ceiling windows, condo, like beautiful location. And I was like, wow, this place is awesome. I'm like, well, if it's available on this different floor, I'll take it. And I wasn't supposed to move until a while, and it just so happened it just worked out in a couple months. I was like, oh, okay, is it still available? They're like, yes. And so, yeah, that's when I went for it. And I actually had a friend out here who was in the industry, and he was like, well, what are you going to do out here? And I was like, I'm just going to model. I'm going to do something different. I'm not.
Wait, you're talking about you moved to Las Vegas?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go back because I wanted to cover over because I know a little bit more about this.
Oh.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
In 2015, I'm in a house. I'm in this weird house in Los Angeles, and they're doing a photo shoot.
Okay.
And I bump into you. And this is right before the Maxim party. This is the night
Babe
before.
Method?
Huh?
Babe
Yeah,
Method?
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
That was it. So it's the night before the Maxim party, and I'm doing interviews, and I interview you. This is the first time we'd ever met, and I interviewed you for that company that you were talking about before. And while we're doing that, you and I hit the Quan. We do this
yes.
really funny video where it was like the first, but it was a TikTok video before it was a TikTok video. And I was joking. I was like, do you want to make this video with me? And you said yes, and we did it. It was really funny.
That was before TikTok.
Yeah, it was way before TikTok. It was before IG Story. It's still on my
Yes.
grid right now.
Oh, I like it.
And then so you and I go to the Maxim party, and I remember asking you, I was like, "Hey, where do you live?" And you were like, at the time you said you lived in Chicago, and you were thinking about moving to Vegas. You had called. I talked to you a couple weeks later because I invited you to something else. I can't remember, New Year's party or something. And you said, "Hey, I'm thinking about moving to Vegas." What was the thing that you saw in Vegas that made you say, "I definitely need to live here"?
Oh, so it was that like when my agency was like, oh, you should, think about it, look into it. So I was driving around, well, an Uber was driving me around, and I was driving to the location that I was going to look at, and I was like looking around. I'm like, wow, like this place is different.
Yeah.
Like it has a suburban area and mountains. It just felt nice and different. And like I knew a lot of people here, and then I was coming here for work and making money. So for me, it was always about, what's going to be the next best move for me.
Yeah.
Can I make money? Can I support myself? Can I, grow somewhere? And can I be happy in a place like this? And that was kind of when I decided, this is for me.
Yeah, for sure. You understand. So like for a lot of girls, they're going to get into modeling, and there's always going to be a second thing. But for you, this was big enough, early enough to where you knew this is what you were going to do full time.
Yeah.
I mean, you're fucking Tawny Jordan, so obviously that makes sense. All right, that makes sense. Now, here's the next thing. So like me and some of my friends, we start recruiting. So I'm working at the Rehab Bikini Invitational, and I'm doing some recruiting for the Hot 100 at this point. The two bikini competitions here. For those of you who don't know, the biggest bikini competition in the world is probably the Spawn Vegas Hot 100. It's $125,000. The one over at Rehab was $54,000 total. And the one they did at Dre's was $74,000, something like that.
Oh, I never did that one.
Yeah, and I was also
still too late?
I was very disappointed in that. That was in 2019 we did that. So
Okay.
I think the first one you did was you did the Hot 100, and then can you just talk about it? What is that like? Getting involved in doing the bikini competitions here, because I look at it like it's a sport. Like this is like a combat art. The bikini competitions during the summer in Las Vegas.
Yeah, it can get vicious, a little vicious. But I'm not really vicious. I'm like, I'm chilling, but don't step on my toes.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's really interesting. That one for the Hot 100, that is several weeks, and you go every week, and you can place like top. Is it top 3?
So the way,
it's been a minute.
I was actually going to host the 2021 before the pandemic happened. And so the way it works is there's 14 weeks of prelims. Just think about like the regular season in the NFL, right? So you'd have 14 weeks of that. It starts in middle of April and it goes all the way to, I believe, July or August or something like that. Then there's 3 playoff rounds. There are playoff rounds, and those 3 you have to do 2 out of 3, and how you score in those 2 out of 3 then equal what your final score is for the end. And it has to do with like voting. I believe there's some online voting, and then there was there's some in-person stuff that you have to do.
Yes.
But like you work for your money.
Yes.
You definitely
You have to earn it.
You definitely have to earn it. So
Yeah.
and if, like you said before, in any calendar month, if you finish in the top 3 for any weekend, then you cannot come back until the next calendar month. That's how the rules work for the one at Wet Republic. The bikini competition that's over at that was at Rehab, we did that the third. It
was like once a month.
It was the
wasn't
third Saturday of every month. We did it for 3 months, and then we had our final in September. We did. That's what we did. And our final was like the prize money in the end was the same as the prize money for wet, but we didn't have as many prelims. Yeah, we didn't have as many prelims. It was a lot less work, and there was no like walking around and like handing out cards at Rehab.
Yes.
So we made that one a little bit, and also. The one at Rehab, and I'm just saying this because I was the host, it was a little bit more fun because we made the girls get up and dance. We would get up there and we would like literally choreograph dances in the back. And before, it was like a pageant. We tried to make it the whole thing like a pageant.
That one felt like a pageant.
Yeah.
The other one felt more like a contest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because it was a lot. There was a lot of content that came from it.
It was a lot. It was, here's my card, vote for me.
Yeah.
I'm going to drag you over to the voting stand.
Yeah.
And then you have to do online voting. And then you had to do with judges voting.
Yes.
I remember Mayweather was one of the judges.
Yes, I was there that week. When Mayweather was there.
Yeah. So that was really interesting. So I did Hot 100 2 years in a row. But once you win like first place one year, you can't do it again.
Yes.
So I didn't win. I think I won. Oh man. Was it number 3 or 4th? 4th place my first year. I can't remember.
Okay, what year was so? We're skipping ahead here. You were the ring girl for the Mayweather McGregor fight.
Yeah, that was the same year I won.
Right. So, but it was the same day you won actually, because if you go back and it was actually you won. That fight was in August. You literally won the same day because I hit you up. Remember, there's a video.
No, I won before, and then the next. It was like the next day or whatever.
Yeah, but
the fight.
I think it was that night.
No,
maybe I'm wrong. Was it the night or was the next night?
I don't have to Google it.
Okay. Anyway, so what year was that? Was that 2018?
2017.
So 2016, you compete and you got 3rd place. Is that what you're saying?
I think 3rd or 4th. Oh man, I can't remember.
Yeah, but you did it, and then you came back the next year and you competed again. And what was that whole thing like going through the 17-week process?
It was a lot. Like you always want to make sure you have like new swimwear. Like my thing is I always like to stand out. I don't like to be like anybody else. I don't want to think like anybody else. I just want to be my own person.
Yes.
So I picked swimwear that represented me the best. And I just go in there happy, excited, thankful to just be in it and be, this Peoria girl, like in Vegas working and doing what I'm doing. And, if I win, great. If I don't, you know what, that's fine. I actually didn't think I was going to win, to be honest. Like, I think I had a better chance at Rehab because everybody was like, oh, you're going to win, you're going to win. I was like, yeah, I don't know, Man,
Rehab was so crazy, wasn't it? Like, dude, the audience there was fucking crazy. I remember like they were like I used to get because I'd go on stage and I was like giving out free alcohol. Mm-hmm. They would be ravenous. We would have them just jumping and going crazy. I was a little
nervous. I was like nervous on that stage.
Dude, I have never because Crystal Hefner was my co-host for those things. She was the DJ for those. And we had, I just remember that it was like a mosh pit out there. It was so crazy. And I was like, this is what bikini competition should all look like.
I have a great videos from Edwin that he recorded and, made for me on there. And you could see like the whole crowd. And I'm just like not looking. I'm just like flipping my hair.
Yes, I have some of those videos too. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, the funny thing about it is that Rehab had a bad reputation. And I was like, well, maybe it does on other days, but not during the bikini competition. The bikini competition, it was awesome. That was like the most fun thing I've ever seen. Is what we did at Rehab. And then Wet also, like, but anyway, let's go back to Rehab. So you thought you were going to win that, and that you actually the final four Wet was before Rehab, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. So this whole thing is going down. The last day at Wet, there's a top 10, right? They announce everybody before they get to the top 10.
Yeah. I remember. Okay.
No, keep going because I got video of this whole thing. I remember the whole thing.
Oh. Yes, I remember. So they're calling out the top 10. So the last day is like the most crucial. I mean, on top of, you're either going to know you're going to place or not at that point because it's the online voting. You have to push, you say, hey, vote for me online. Like, luckily I have such an amazing fan base that like a lot of people voted for me online. And I heard it was like pretty much neck and neck.
Yeah.
And then, in person, like I'm not super aggressive. So like, I'm not going to drag someone. I could do so much to be like, oh, would you like to vote for me or whatever? You had to do that part. But I think I had a strong social media base that voted for me. And, the judges, I think I do really well with that. So I think that really helped, So I just remember them calling the top 10. And, I think there's about, I don't know, like 12 to 10 to 20 people up there for the top 10.
All right, so let's reset this because the way it goes is the reason why it's called the Hot 100 is because there's supposed to be 100.
They're supposed to be.
They're 100.
But they narrow it down.
So those 3 weeks beforehand, there are 100 girls
Yeah.
competing, but they don't come all those 3 weeks.
Yeah, correct.
And then I believe, don't get me wrong, Leanne, don't get mad at me if I say this incorrectly, but I believe she tells the top, 20 or 30, hey, you made the top 20.
Yeah.
And so only 20 show up for the last day.
Yes,
I
yes,
believe that is how it works, because
Yeah.
that's how we do it. If you don't make the third round, we don't tell you to stick around. We're like, hey, okay, you didn't make the third round.
Yeah.
So I think that's what happened that time. But yeah, it is at the end. It is 100 girls competing at the end, and then they finally narrow it down to the top 20. So now they call out the top. They call out 20 through 11. You're still up there. You still have not. You're still in the bullpen. You're still waiting to get called. What's going through your mind at that point?
So
I was nervous for you, by the way.
were you?
Yeah,
Were you rooting for me, or were you rooting for someone else?
I
Don't
am
lie.
friends with there may have been a girl in the top 10 I was seeing. There were I had so many friends that were competing in this, but I was very encouraging of you, Tawny, for
It's
sure.
okay.
Yeah,
I forgive you.
You're mad at me? Okay, we'll talk about this. Here we go. All right, so you're in the top 10. Describe how that felt.
Okay, so I'm a little nervous. I'm like, shaking, like, ooh, like, oh my gosh, am I really like, so far so good. Okay. If I was going to place top 3, I was going to be really happy regardless.
One more time, let me reset this. Third place is 5,000. Second place was 10,000. First place was 25,000.
Yes.
That's how it was. If you got 4th through 10th, I think it was somewhere in the area of like 4 to 2,000, and I think it was
Something like that,
1,000 for 11th through 20th. Again, guys, don't get mad at me if I got these numbers exactly wrong. That's what we also did at Rehab. We did the same numbers over there for our finals.
did?
Anyway, yeah.
Okay.
So again, first prize is 25,000. Second prize was, I think one year it was 15,000, but it may have been 10,000.
Yeah, I think they changed it.
Yeah, and then third prize was 5,000. So that's what she's competing for. You're in the top 10, so you've made some money.
Yeah.
So now they called out the names.
So they're calling. They did number. Fast forward to number 3. They called that person. I was like, okay.
Do you remember who 3 was? I have it on video, but I don't remember who it was. No. Okay, and at the end, it's you and Darian Dallas.
Yes. And
Shout out to Darian Trillo, Chris and Darian Trillo, the happy couple.
Aw. So when they called out number 2, my mouth dropped, because at that point I was like, I know there were other people, but I knew I won at that point, because I knew like I did my damn best. Like I was like, they called her. I was like shook. I was like, oh my God, like instantly in tears, crying, nervous, like, what the heck did this just, and then they called my name, and then I was like, oh my God, I won.
Yeah.
And it was that was a crazy year for me.
Yeah.
And then I had the Mayweather thing was happening, and Mayweather McGregor thing was happening during the week, because you have like, the weigh-ins and all that stuff. So that was happening around the same time.
Yeah.
So I knew the next day, don't quote me, like was the fight, or that night. I can't remember.
So I'll remind
I
you.
still think it's the next day.
Okay, so it may have been the next day, but Alyssa Sawaya is calling out the names, and she gets at number 3 and then number 2. You and Darian are holding hands. Both of you are about to start crying at this point, okay? And you guys are holding hands, and then they call Darian Dallas's name, which means you're the only person left, which means you won.
There was another person, but yeah.
Yeah, no. When the 2 of you were holding hands, it was just you 2 left.
No, I remember
there was another one?
I feel like there was.
Okay,
yeah.
well then she got called 3rd, because you 2 were the only ones left. And then when they call her name, then you knew you won, and then you got the big humongous check for $25,000. All right.
Yes.
Then afterwards, I go up to you and I record you. I still have this recording. It's shaky as shit too. And you're crying. You are crying, vociferously crying at this point.
Great.
And then I was like, hey, don't you have something to do tonight? Don't you have something to do? He's like, yeah, I got to go to the fight. Because the fight was either that night or the next night. You're right. I don't remember. But it was McGregor. And then that fight, 90 million people watched that fight.
Yeah, the most watched fight in the world.
Yeah. And you were doing Ring Girl for Corona? Is that who it was?
Corona. They won the bid for sponsorship for that fight.
So describe that. How do you get hooked up with Corona fighting, and then how does that?
So exactly. Remember when I said several years when I was 21, I was doing Ring Girl stuff.
Yeah.
So I just continued to be a Ring Girl for Corona, and they were talking about who was going to get the fight, which sponsorship. It could have been like Tecate, it could have been Corona or another one, and it just ended up being Corona.
Okay.
So we ended up doing that. And then I lived in Vegas. So, I feel like the Vegas girls kind of get first dibs, but I'm one of the main ones.
Yeah.
So I got to do that. And
was
so
awesome.
that was very crazy.
What's it like being in there during that fight?
Oh, man. Nervous.
Were you paying
too.
attention to the fight? Were you noticing that McGregor was having a hard time with Mayweather?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I thought it was interesting. I think, at the time you're like, you have so much adrenaline. That week was just crazy for me. So I was like really pumped. I saw a lot of people in the stadium. And it's just a lot of energy, you know, and even though the fight's right in front of you, the ring, you can't see all parts of the ring. It's for me, I look at the TV, the screen that everybody can see because you could see more of the fight.
Where are you sitting in between rounds?
So I'm sitting on the side, like basically the seat that you'd want to be in.
Okay.
Like that's the best seat in the house. I mean, for me, I'm like, you'd want to be ringside.
Wasn't anyone else with you? Was Rachel? Was there any other ring girl, or were you the only ring girl?
No, there was a couple other ring girls there.
Do you remember who they were?
So I think Samantha, this girl named Samantha, Sam, I think she was there. Kira, I think was there. Jessica Harbor was there. I think it was us. And I think another girl. I can't remember. Yeah, but everybody wanted to be in the ring. And it actually so happened at the end of the fight, I got to be in the
Yeah, I remember
ring.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I had so many of my friends, like a lot of celebrities even hit me up. They're like, what the heck? You're on the screen right now and everybody's watching you. This is crazy. Congrats. And I'm just like high on like energy, you know, from winning, you know, this contest to being in the ring and being all over the world and publicity, like, you know, who's going to do the fight. Like even Peoria did a story about me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they like wrote my parents' name in there. And they were like, my mom was like, someone at work told me you were in the paper and I'm in the paper. And I was like, yeah, sorry about that, Mom. Journal Star did an interview. It was cute. It was cute.
That's awesome, man. That was a wild time.
Yeah.
So you do that. You're blowing up. Did you notice a big change? Because I mean, you're on Instagram at this point. Was there a big change on your Instagram after you did this?
Yeah, I definitely gained more and more followers being on there. A lot of people recognized me on there. But I was growing on my own organically. So, I think it grew a little bit more. I was known for doing more ring girl stuff. But I was just doing a lot of other things in general to make my social media grow.
Did you notice any new opportunities that happened because of that?
I'm trying to think.
Actually, I have another question. When you won the Hot 100, did Hakkasan Group offer you a job? Did you ever think about working?
I think I think it's a given that you can actually get a job.
Yeah, because Jen Mateo, like the next week after she won, ended up getting hired.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I have to go.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's not COVID, I promise.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. So no, I didn't even try.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even try to.
So you got offered bottles. You don't understand. There's like 8,000 girls that come here every year. They'll be actually in January, in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
They're going to go to the tryouts. They're going to stand on top of a box in a bikini. They're going to get asked all these questions. It's really, really difficult. The bottle girl tryouts, I've heard stories, just nightmares about what they have to go through. But you're getting offered gigs to go work at these places.
Yeah, and I just do my own thing.
Yeah, you just wanted to model.
Yeah, and then like I knew that other contest was coming up, like Rehab. So Rehab.
All right, so we can fast forward. Now we get to go to do the Rehab one.
Yes.
And I remember because I was the one who announced you, and we're up there, and we get to the top 10. We're doing a very similar thing. I get a piece of paper. It tells me who's in the top 10. It's much rowdier. Dude, all respect.
Were you shook when you knew it was me?
No, I knew. I thought you would.
Oh my God. Okay, continue.
Yeah, but by the way, something about the contest that I do, I never allow myself to vote. Ever. I never want to be a part of the voting. Whenever they ask me my opinion, I'm like, don't ask me because I'm the host. So
yeah.
So no, I had no problem at all when you won. I thought it was terrific. Now you're up there. You got the top 10, and we're announcing it out. But it's a little rowdier, and you have to go out on a catwalk, and Crystal Hefner is there. And
you walk, you do the walk, you do everything.
Yeah. What was that like?
So that one was nervous. I know. I remember I'd always drink like a lot of coffee beforehand.
Yeah.
Because it dehydrates you or whatever. So then I was like, also have like a rush of energy, and it was a little more nerve wracking because you actually have to do like a little walk in front of everybody, and like all eyes are on you. And yeah, I do this for a living, but it's still a little nerve wracking, And people, the thing is, like I said, like I'm not super aggressive, so I'm not going to go out there and twerk and. Do all those.
Oh, we don't. There's no twerking allowed.
There were twerking.
Yeah, but we told them that don't do any twerking.
I didn't do anything crazy, but I do remember something I did, which was hilarious because I don't know if a lot of people know this. So like, you want to stand out, like I said.
Yeah.
So I remember one of the walks I had, like, I thought it would be a good idea to have like a confetti stick.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm like, I'm going to take out this confetti stick. I'm going to go bam, and it's going to explode with confetti. So I like when I took it out, and I think I did hit it. It was like hard to hit it out, and I hit it, and it did come out. But when it threw, like when I threw it into the abyss, it hit somebody, and I was like, "Oh, that would happen to me."
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, I vaguely remember this. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think anybody knows except me.
I think I introduced you as a ninja. I can't remember what it is, but I made.
But I did karate. So.
Yes, I made up. So when you do my competition, I make up fake occupations for everyone.
Oh, okay.
Like you're a clown instructor, you're a ninja, or something like that. Because I just hate. Man, what sucks is when I get these, because we give the girls questionnaires and they're like, I like pizza and I want to go to Hawaii. Shut the fuck up. Hawaii and pizza? Nobody ever says that. That's crazy. What's your favorite movie? Oh, it's 50 Shades of Grey. Oh, it's shocking. No, I like interesting and different stuff. So I kept trying to make up interesting stuff for different people. And I remember yours. I can't remember how I introduced you, but it was something like really funny. Like you had 2 PhDs in astrophysics or something.
Oh my gosh.
I can't remember what it was.
I don't know.
But anyway, yeah, that was a good time. So you win that one. You are correct. You are the only person to ever hold both titles at once.
Yes.
Jen Mateo was very close. Jen Mateo got second at Rehab and first at Wet one time.
Yeah.
But that's the only time that's ever happened. And congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
So you won $50,000 within like a month.
Yeah, that was nuts. Well, people are like, "You're gonna win. You're gonna." I was like, I even debated on going.
Really?
Yeah, because I was just like, I already won the first one. Like, I don't think I'm gonna win the next one. Like, why should I even go? You know?
We didn't care. Like,
they actually told me, they're like, no, you should do it. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. So I did it, and I'm just excited that like I'm just living in a stream of bliss. I'm like, oh, this is exciting. So my mom actually flew to town, and we got her a room at the Hard Rock. Mm-hmm. So she stayed up there, and she could see from downstairs what was going on. And I mean, she couldn't hear from upstairs, but she could see. And so I think my mom might have like passed by or something and found out who won. And I came up to the room, and I had some friends help me with this giant, even bigger check than what Republic come in. And she was just like super excited. She saw me win, and she was just so thrilled. She's my biggest fan. So
that's awesome.
It's so sweet.
Yeah. That was a great time, man. Those were fun times.
That was a great year.
Those were crazy summers, weren't they?
Yeah, it was so much fun.
It was a lot of fun. I'll tell you another story, and I don't know if this happened with you, but whenever we would do those competitions, the girls who'd make the top 10, almost half of them got married within a year.
Well, that wasn't me.
Yeah, it wasn't you. But I mean, I don't know if you noticed this, but a lot of this happened very frequently because these girls were like, you saw, like a lot of them were very confident, in fantastic shape. Mm-hmm. Like these women were like at the pinnacle. They were like, and a lot of them had second, third jobs, getting master's degrees. Like these women were awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And like a lot of them did, like because of that, the dudes were like, I need to wipe this one up right now. You know,
Aww.
That did happen a lot. Like I remember one year we did it. It was the year before you were there. 7 of the 10 girls ended up getting married within like the next 18 months.
Damn.
It was crazy.
That's crazy.
No one's good enough for you, Tawny. I'm not trying to say anything. No one's good enough for you.
I'm super picky, I guess.
Yes, you are, and we're gonna get to your picky. We're gonna get to your pickiness.
Oh boy.
So you already mentioned like you were with some dude in Chicago. You guys broke up.
I broke up.
You broke up, and then no. I mean previously, and then this one most recently in Chicago, you broke up.
Yes.
So how does someone get into a relationship with Tawny Jordan, and then how do they break up? How does that work?
I usually break up with them.
Okay, so what? Keep going.
It's because like I'm looking for a person that like checks all my boxes, you know. I like a person who, one, it has to start off with like an energy thing. It has to be like, oh, do I have a connection with this person? You either know it or not. You know what I mean? I mean, it can kind of develop over time. But
has that ever happened for the guys that you're the most attracted to? You just know immediately.
Yes.
Okay.
I usually know, like, I'm very intuitive, so I usually know like, oh, this person, he's gonna be something. I don't know what it is.
Do they look similar to each other?
No.
So
not really. I mean, I guess I have like 2 kind of types, I guess, like a business type.
Okay.
Or like a creative type.
Okay.
So those are like the 2.
Right brain and left brain type.
I guess so. Is that what it is?
Yeah, left brain type.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I tend to go for people who are really like have a lot of depth to them. Like I like deep. Like if I can't have like conversations with you, I'm like, oh, you're boring. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I need someone who can actually talk. Someone who is interested in not only their career but my career.
Yeah.
You know, somebody who wants to grow. with me.
Hashtag Instagram boyfriend.
What?
Have you never heard that?
No, I know what that is.
Instagram boyfriend?
Yes, and I don't like that term. That's really derogative.
You know?
Like, I think people like give people shit for that.
Baby, can I get your light? Hold on, let me get your light just right here. Hold on a second.
I think that's sweet. But you know what? I'm that girlfriend. They don't do this. I'm that girlfriend that'll be like, let me take pictures of you. Let me take awesome photos of you, edit them, and give them to you, and so you could have sick photos too.
You know, you wouldn't have to edit mine. I'm pretty good. I get it my own. All right, so now let's talk about this. So now you find a guy. He clicks the boxes. You have a business type and you have a creative type. And then what happens is Tawny the one who chooses?
Chooses what?
Whether or not this relationship goes forward. How does
it usually is me. Because it's just like, if deep down, like, I know whether it's gonna work or not, and I give it the benefit of the doubt. And if they're not, can I see myself with this person for a long time?
Right.
And I think that's a question I ask myself, like, and anybody I'm sure asks themselves, like, can I see myself with this person? And usually, I mean, it's been no lately, but I like to try, and every people who come in your life, even if it doesn't work out, it was meant to happen for a reason. I think you grow from it, you learn from it, and into the next relationship, like I've been in good relationships, I've been in bad relationships. Now I can take that and realize, hey, this is a really good relationship. Maybe I should keep this, But until I find that person, or, like I expect certain things from a relationship, and, I think a lot of the past relationships have shaped me into who I am today and what I like in a person.
Right. So let's go back and talk to Tawny 10 years ago.
Sure.
What would you tell her? Hey, these are the red flags that I missed in the bad relationships, the things that because I'll tell you right now, in my life in the last 10 years, there's red flags. I'm like, wow, I tolerated this before because this girl was hot, and I'm not going to do that anymore. What were the red flags that you saw that you would look past, and now you realize, okay, I'm in a bad relationship now?
Okay, so definitely they have to be supportive of who you were when they met you.
Okay. They can't be like, hey, I met you because you were a hot model. Now I don't want you to model anymore.
Correct.
Okay, you don't want that. Got it.
Definitely don't want that. And they have to, like, not judge, like, what you're wearing, or, like, just, like, types of clothing. Because I've had that before, and it sucks. Like, you don't want to feel like I can't be me, And another thing is just, like, my job in general. Like, you have to be supportive of my career and who I am as a person. Because, like, I wouldn't be someone's number one fan. Like, at the end of the day, I want you to talk about everything you want to talk about with work or life in general, and I could be able to be there for you. But you got to do the same for me. And if it's just one-sided, it's not going to work. Yeah. So that was, like, a huge thing for me in my last relationship as well, and all those things. And
so that was a problem in the most recent relationship where you were not getting the support for Tawny Jordan, the model.
Yeah, I think I was getting support as just me as a person, but we were friends for a very long time. And even when I was a model, he met me several years ago, but we just aren't meant for each other, to be honest. So, those are the things that are really important to me. You have to accept me for me. And, people do change. You could change certain things, but, like, when you're changing a whole person's character, it's like a whole different thing, I
don't think you can change anybody's character.
I think you can. I think just change, like, habits, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you can make people better at communicating, maybe.
100%. You can make someone better, but don't make them worse.
Yeah, but I don't think you can make. I mean, because I'm a big proponent of evolution, and I just think that humans, you just kind of put on here, you like what you like. It's almost like me saying that my sexual proclivities are my preference. They're not, or like my choice. They're not my choice. I was born like this. This is the way I feel. It works both ways, right? And so I don't think people really, I rarely find people significantly change, but I do think people mature as far as their behavior is concerned.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
But what they want, though, man, I don't think it ever changed. Dude, if you, you wrote in the Maxim interview, the thing that turns you on and the things that turn you off. The thing that turned you off is when they're fuckboys. Do you remember this? Right?
Yeah, I still don't like that.
Okay, now have you ever been in a relationship where you try to change a fuckboy?
I think I've dated people where they were now I define dating and relationship two different things.
Let's go. Keep going.
So like I've dated fuckboys, but you know, they don't work out because they're fuckboys. Like I don't want, like I end up, like my energy is too high for a fuckboy. Sorry. Bye.
Talk about, so what's wrong here? Like what's going on? What specifically? Are they lying to you? What is the situation?
It's like their energy, like something's off or they're lying or they're just not like communicating properly.
What if they're
like,
communicating properly and their communication is, I don't want to be in a relationship? Does that still make them a fuckboy? If they're honest with
I
you?
just wouldn't mess with them if that's the case.
But see, but this is what where you understand, guy, you need to think about this from not Tawny's point of view,
Sure.
but from a guy's point of view,
Sure.
looking at Tawny right now. What in the world, like, so what you're hearing, what we're hearing is you would date a fuckboy, but this guy who doesn't want to be in a relationship, you wouldn't talk to him. So what is going on? Is this dude fooling you? He's like, he didn't see.
Oh, they're fooling you.
They're
pretending
so this
to
guy,
be, you know.
This guy pretended like he wanted a relationship with Tawny, but then he doesn't, and he ends up like being a fuckboy. You discover he's a fuckboy. You discover he's a fuckboy.
Their actions don't match up their words don't match up their actions.
Copy all. Okay.
Yes, exactly. So they pretend to be something because they want to date Tawny Jordan.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So I don't do dating apps either. I don't mess with dating apps.
Yeah.
I've never been on a dating app.
I don't think you have to, Tawny. I think you're good. I think Instagram is the best dating app for you.
No, I still won't. Like I've met people on there. I'm like, yeah, nah.
All right, so you meet someone. Or what are the red flags? Like, what are the things where like they're saying one thing and they're doing another? Like, what's going on here? I just want to be with you, and then you catch them flirting with somebody else. What's the deal?
I'm trying to recall actual things that have happened to me. I'd say, you know, like. I think social media is a very interesting thing. If they don't want to show you on social media, that's a huge red flag too.
Okay, you post him. We were going to get to this, but
I don't mind posting people.
You posted him, your dude, right? And that is you understand?
Are you talking about my last dude?
You're talking about your last relationship.
I don't mind that.
No,
whatever.
No, hold on. Tawny, this is a big deal. Like you don't. I don't think you realize that it's a big deal.
I guess not.
Most girls in your position, a lot of them don't post who they're with. You understand?
Because they're afraid they're going to lose followers.
Exactly right. Listen. The four girls I'm huge friends with: Kylie Myers, CJ Sparks, Lindsay Pelas, Emily Sears. They never posted that they're with a dude.
Yeah.
Ever posted that they're with a dude,
yeah.
right? And everyone knows that Lindsay used to date Blazarian, and she still wasn't posting that. So like that's the thing. Like, and you were very upfront. In fact, the majority of your social media was you with this dude. You were hashtag don't post him. You were posting him, right? And we discussed this. It was like became a topic for me and some of my friends because I would do a Monday show, and I didn't say your name specifically, but it was like she is posting the shit out of this dude.
You've
right?
talked about me on
of course.
the show.
We didn't say Tawny Jordan, but I was like, I know some girls. We also had Claudia Fajal on here. She's married. She's very open about her and Dan Stevens. They posted all the time. Did you find any difficulty when all of a sudden Tawny Jordan, she's won all these bikini competitions. She's this ring girl. She's been on Playboy, MAXIM, FHM, and all of a sudden she's posting her dude. Did anything happen at that point? Did you notice any? Can you describe the feedback?
Oh, you just lose followers for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, people kind of like either you get support or you don't. But my thing is like I don't really care what other people think. So, you know, if it makes me happy, then you're gonna support me or not. If you don't want to see it, then bye. I don't care. Bye.
No, you know? I remember you were filming him one time, and he was like playing basketball, and I was so jealous. I was like, man, I wish I had a girlfriend just watch me play basketball.
Oh yeah, see, I'm super supportive. He's really tall. He was like 6'5".
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm all about supporting people. Like, you know, at the end of the day, like you're gonna get married or you're not. Like this, I'm not gonna hide my person.
Yeah.
Unless they don't, if they're more private, then I can respect those wishes. Like I had a boyfriend, the one person I dated here in Vegas. You know, I didn't post a picture of their face ever, but there would be like hints of him in my social media that some people caught on, some people didn't. Like either you could see like the back of them or they could see like a side of their face in the background or, you know, just hidden things. But like, I like that too. Like, you know, at the end of the day, it's my social media. I could do whatever I want with it.
For sure.
Yeah, and that's what it's about.
But it was so... You zigged when everybody was zagging. And I was always interested in like what that experience was like for you when you did that because I've heard different things. I'm definitely not saying what you're doing was wrong because it probably helps with the relationship a lot.
Yeah.
Would you do it again? Would you post them again?
It depends.
Is there a level where I'm so deep in this modeling thing I'm not going to post my boyfriend?
No. I mean, like I said, like I just always do things that are true to me.
For sure.
You know, I'm not hiding anything.
Of course.
So if I want to post someone because I feel it's right in that moment, then sure. You know, my last relationship lasted 2 years. So unless I find it super serious where, you know, this person I can really see myself with them, then sure, I'll post them. But, there are also those people that I've dated. There's been multiple like that rather be more private, and they don't even have social media.
Right.
So like I'm totally cool with that too.
Which is a huge red flag, ladies. If he doesn't have social media,
not necessarily.
It's because he doesn't want you to know about his wife and kids.
That or they're just too rich and don't care about social media and don't do it.
Wife and kids. That's what's going on.
That's funny.
All right, so a couple other things, right? So you and I, we were travel buddies. There was like a year or two there where we were going all over the place together.
Yes.
Did you go with me to Jamaica? Did you go to Jamaica?
So I went to Jamaica. I don't think we went together. I don't know if we...
I know we went to Ibiza.
I think you were there, but I don't think we went together.
No, I know. So you were at Paradise Challenge when I was there in Jamaica.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What was that experience like? So you're doing a destination shoot.
Mm-hmm. Working with all these amazing photographers. Some people like who even came up to me and they're like, Tawny Jordan, I would love to work with you. I'm like, oh, let me see your work, because I'm very selective.
Yes.
Like, I'm not just gonna work for anybody. I'm also not gonna shoot with anybody, even if they're gonna pay me. I don't do that stuff.
Right.
I don't do freelance like that. So I'll look at their portfolio and I'll be like, you know what, your stuff's amazing. Let's do some work together, and we end up with some sick work. And so that's really awesome. And I really loved the when we went to the school and with the children and
I do
stuff.
remember that, yeah.
That was like one of my favorite things.
So to reset, guys, Paradise Challenge, which is run by Joel Alvarez. He lives in the Miami area in Florida. He runs this thing where it's the third week every September. They take over Hedonism 2 in Negril, Jamaica. Basically, it's I think this last time there were 120 models and something like 40-something photographers that went. There's one of the days, it's either the Wednesday or the Thursday, we go to this place called Mango Hall, which is a elementary school that's in the Negril area, and it's in a parish nearby there, or it's in the same parish, I forget. We go there, and then we collect donations. A lot of the people at Paradise Challenge will just give monetary donations, and it's been everything. Like at one point, the Paradise Challenge had bought them utilities, or bought them like a stove, air conditioning, a refrigerator, whatever, and the stuff got stolen. And so the next time they did it, they had to actually physically get chains to bolt all of the...
I didn't know that.
Yeah, bolt all the
recent.
stuff down. Yeah, for sure.
That's so sad.
If you ever go to Mango Hall, if you guys ever get a chance to go to Paradise Challenge and go to Mango Hall, you'll actually see like some of the stuff is bolted down, and so that the kids will have that stuff. Every year, they go there, Paradise Challenge, and Joel will go there and then donate a bunch of stuff to Mango Hall. So yeah, that's right. You went there with us. I absolutely remember this, and that's a really good time, right?
Yeah.
That is a really awesome charity.
I'd go back.
Go with that destination photo shoot.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then the other one where you and I went to Ibiza and you almost died from electrocution. Do you remember this?
How could I forget?
Yes. So she's got my handheld Sennheiser with the XLR thing, and the cord is actually in the Pacific or in the Mediterranean at this point. She's standing there doing an interview, and a wave, this gigantic wave, comes from behind. And the fucked up part is I'm holding an A7S1 right now, filming her. And this huge wave comes from behind her, and I see the wave, and I'm like, "What's going to happen here?" But I don't want to stop this. Yeah. And then can you describe what happens?
Well, first you were like, "Don't get the mic under the water," and I was like, "I won't." And we're doing this interview, and I just feel I was like, "Oh, it's getting strong," you know. Like, I have the video somewhere on my social media.
Yeah.
And I felt it. And I'm like, oh boy, this tide's gonna pull me in.
Yeah.
And it pulls me in, and I'm legit like putting my hand above the water. I was like, I got the mic.
I was worried about her getting electrocuted.
I was concerned for your mic too. Yeah, but yes, I didn't want to drown. It really like took me by surprise, and I got my knees got scraped, and someone came and saved me because I was falling into the water. But it was pretty hilarious.
Yes, we're on the coast in Ibiza, and I'm doing an interview with her, and this wave comes over and just knocks her down. And then a couple minutes later after that was when I'm flying the drone around. I'm filming Joel Alvarez. He's on top of this like structure. This because basically in Ibiza there's a bunch of churches that are made out of this limestone. Limestone is hewed out of this area where we were. So there's these big like square chunks that are missing, and it's really incredible place to shoot. It takes about 45 minutes just to walk down a hill to get to this place. It's very difficult to get down to. When we're there, I'm flying the drone, and then all of a sudden you see Joel point in this one direction, and so I turn the drone off, and I'm like, Joel, what's up? He's like, there's a guy over here drowning. Okay. What did you see that happen at that point?
I think what was happening at that moment. I was actually shooting for my future MAXIM like 11-page spread.
Yeah.
So when this was happening, I was like soaking wet, and like I was just like laying on rocks, which are super uncomfortable. But sometimes you got to get the best shot, so you just lay wherever. And then I heard something like, someone's drowning. And I don't know, it was you. I'm sure it was you. And like, I just see a drone and I see this man floating in the water and everybody's curious, but I'm still shooting. No, I know I couldn't do anything, but I was very curious and I'm just like, what is happening? And yeah, that's pretty much what I remember.
So I'm flying a Mavic 1 at this point. I fly it over. I'm standing probably maybe 50 yards away, and I can't see what's going on. There's 4 guys going to like save this guy from the water. So I'm giving them vectors. I'm like telling them, hey, the guy's just out here in front of you. He's about 40 feet away. Blah blah blah. And I'm yelling it to them because I can still see him on the drone. And then he finally gets close enough, and they pull the guy in. Basically, it was a nude swimmer who
wasn't he just floating?
He was just floating, but he was nude, and because of the waves, the same waves that knock you over, he could not get back on the beach because it's not the fun rocks. These are spiky coral rocks.
Yeah, painful rocks.
They will slam you into these things. So 4 guys went in there and they pulled him in. And
Wasn't that on the news too?
All right, hold on, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So I'm filming the whole thing. They pull him out and this dude is naked as a jaybird. And everyone's like, the look on everyone's face. So just imagine 4 dudes pulling this naked guy out of the Mediterranean Ocean. And then as soon as they see he's naked, they all turn their back to him and like walk the fuck away. And he like keeps trying to talk to Joel or Cameron. It might not have been Joel, somebody else. And they're like, all right, dude, I'm good. Stop talking to me. Like, it was so funny. And the guy's just walking and then he points up at the drone or whatever. Anyway, I end up giving the video to TMZ, and TMZ ends up showing this video of us rescuing this nude guy in the Mediterranean.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was a good time, man.
Oh boy.
Can you describe, like, you do a lot of traveling, you do a lot of photo shoots in different locations. What's that like?
Man, I just feel like it's such a passion of mine. I love to travel. I'm actually going to Aruba in a few days.
Okay.
So that'll be exciting. It's for my birthday. Just doing a fun trip by myself.
Do you just go by yourself?
This will be my first time by myself.
That's
for
great.
myself.
Do you like it when it's 80, 90 girls, or do you prefer it when it's smaller? What do you like?
I don't mind. I mean, it just depends on my mood at the time, but it's fine. I don't mind being more intimate too, and also like I like to travel on my own. So for like work trips, it's whatever, it is what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Ibiza was a lot smaller than Jamaica.
Yeah, it's way smaller.
But I had a lot of fun.
That was so fun too. Yeah.
Ibiza
Do you remember the video I have of you doing the dancing thing when we were on top of that mountain? Do you remember this? Okay, I got to send all this to you.
When we're dancing in the middle of the street?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have that video.
Yeah,
it was so much fun.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah, the Ibiza one was very, very intimate. There was maybe 21 girls that came to that one. Mm-hmm. Jamaica was 85, 90 girls.
That was a lot of people, yeah.
Jamaica's a lot less work because we have the whole thing to ourselves, the whole resort. Mm-hmm. Ibiza, you go to the different parts of the island, and there's Ibiza is a volcanic rock. Like it's just there's lots of hills and lots of climbing that you have to do.
Yeah, so I got published in Maxim being in Ibiza or Ibiza, whatever you want to call it.
Wait a second. Was this the shot that Geo took of you?
Yes.
So I have drone shots of this too. So there's we're on the side of like a cliff, right? Mm-hmm. And the edge of the cliff is the ocean. This was the first day we went to shoot. You have to climb down into this one thing, and
that's a different one.
Geo, shout out to Geo.
Is that when I was wearing yellow?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't in Maxim though. That was different. But I was wearing red in the Maxim. That was the day that the guy was drowning.
Okay, so that was the day. Because before that, I remember you climbed down these rocks. Mm-hmm. Gio is sitting on like another rock about 10 feet away, and he's shooting you. And like I'm telling you, this is slip and fall and die type shit.
Yeah, it's frightening.
It was crazy. There was one time I have a video of you like laying on the edge of this cliff, and just over you is like a 50-foot drop down into these rocks. I mean, it was crazy.
I think I wore tennis shoes.
Yeah, you did wear tennis shoes. It was crazy shit back that we were doing there just to get these incredible shots.
Yeah,
and
worth it.
I have the wildest drone shots of that stuff because I could, and there was times where like people would get lost, and I'd be like, "Where's so and so?" And I'd like have to fly the drone to go find him. I'd be like, "Joel, he's over here. Just go yell at him."
I think I remember you jumping off one of the cliffs in the beginning when we got there. It was to the jellyfish, and everybody was like, "There's jellyfish,"
and I was screaming.
And I think I jumped, and there was jellyfish, and I'm like, but it was freezing.
Yeah, shout out to Grace Bell. Yes, we jumped off that thing. We jumped off that thing together, and I was freking the freak out, man, when that was happening.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was crazy. And then I jumped off when we went to that the next day, and I lost my watch. So my first ever Apple Watch is at the bottom of the Mediterranean Ocean to this day.
Fun. That's fun.
But those are fun trips, right?
Yeah, I've been to so many cool places modeling, and I hope to continue to go to more cool places.
Have you done the whole what is the dress, the Santorini dress thing? Have you done that?
No, I've always wanted to do that. I love Greece. Greece is one of my favorite places to go.
Yeah,
and I've been there multiple times.
Yeah.
So
where is your favorite place of all places to go?
Oh man, so I'd say Greece is like probably close to number one.
Yeah.
Turks and Caicos was amazing. Bali was amazing. Hawaii is freaking amazing. I mean, there's so many places I've been that I love.
Yeah.
So it's hard to put them, because they're all different from each other.
Yeah.
You think water, it's the same. No, like culture's different, food's different, what you do there can be different. Like I went to Greece for pleasure and for work.
Yeah.
2 different trips, and they were both amazing trips. You stay at beautiful villas, and you get to go to like the nicest clubs and restaurants. And clubs down there are so different than here in America. And I love their clubs. It's more like a restaurant lounge.
Right.
Eating amazing food with the music in the background, and you'll eat till sunset and dance, and I love that. So the whole Greece vibes is great.
Your favorite photographers to work with?
My favorite, oh man. So one of my favorites, he's one of my best friends. His name's Bart Corella, and we've worked together since I was like 20. So like 9 years of friendship.
He's in Chicago?
No, he's in Chicago. He's more of a fashion photographer.
Wait, so he is in Chicago?
Yeah, sorry, Chicago.
Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
I heard that wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's based in Chicago. And he's just worked on a lot of things with me when it comes to like my agency, when it comes to my personal modeling stuff, different brands. He's amazing. And there's just so many. There's a ton. I can't even list them all because I'd feel bad to list every single one of them if I miss out on somebody. But there's a ton of people. You could look at my portfolio that I've worked with that I'm just so happy with the pictures that we've created.
Yeah. Is there a favorite model you like to collab with? Or any favorite models?
I don't really model with other models. Yeah. Not really. Like
you're
you're
not doing the OF collab thing.
I don't have an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do that.
That's probably
it's not my brand.
The number one revelation of this program. She does not have an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I
each their own.
I believe you're the first female. No, I think Shar was on here that doesn't have an OnlyFans that's been on the show.
Oh, really?
That's not true. There's a few more, but yeah, that's pretty fun. So you don't. So the decision to not get an OnlyFans has to do with your brand.
Yeah, I mean, it comes with its own territory, I believe. I mean, do you think it does?
I think it did. I don't know if it does anymore. I think it's changed because I know girls like. I think when Chloe and Lindsay Payless got an OnlyFans, I think that kind of changed. It changed it for everybody.
Really?
Yeah, because like they're not doing nudes. I think.
But I know that I know one of them has done nudes before, right?
Well,
they do nudes.
I'll say the ultimate inflection for me was Caitlin Runk when she went and got an OnlyFans, and she's just a fitness model, and she does absolutely no nudes. And also Kylie Myers does no nudes. At that point, I think what it was changed. I think it's just a function of, it's just another platform to make money. Tony, you understand, like, people are going to talk shit just because you have an Instagram. It doesn't matter. I'm not telling you to get an OnlyFans. What I'm saying is, I think 3 years ago, for sure, it was the place for you to fuck your husband on camera and make money on it. 100%, that's what it was. I think once we started seeing like high end fitness models that are showing no nudity whatsoever on there, still making $30,000 a week, I think at that point was the inflection to where I think what it is changed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
interesting. It's a great moneymaker, I heard, and like, I don't know, I have to do more research on it for me to want to do something like that.
Yeah.
I have other things that I'm working on right now, but it does seem interesting to make $30,000 a week.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty wild. All right. So let me see here. We keep going on. You are traveling, like we just said before. Does that ever get in the way of the relationship?
No. Usually I date people who are, very supportive of that and like me doing my own thing, but there has been times where it is difficult for a person that I've dated where, they don't really understand it because it's totally different than what they do.
Yeah.
And that's why I kind of tend to do better with people who understand my career better, because they're like, oh, they can support that. They understand the career, versus someone who doesn't, and you have totally opposite lives from them. It's very hard. Like, I have to date someone who is very confident in who they are as a person and who they are with me, and know at the end of the day, like, you don't share me, like, this is me, I'm with you, now you got to trust me, so
that's hard. Like that is a difficult thing. I've had a lot of girls come on here and they've talked about that being a specific difficulty, where it's like, hey honey, I have to go, I'm gonna go shoot Implied on a beach in Ibiza with 45, 50 dudes, and your boyfriend's like, I know every one of these dudes wants to sleep with you, and you're just like, all right, I'm gonna go to bed.
I think that's what guys think. Yeah, guys think like that. Girls don't really think like that. I think.
Right. Well,
maybe
for sure. But I think what happens with guys is they're like, it doesn't. I understand what you think. I'm just telling you, all these dudes do. We know that's what they're thinking, and so it just eats at you after a while. And we talked about this with Dr. Buss, who was on here a couple weeks ago. Jealousy is an evolutionary thing. It's not something. It's not some level of immaturity. It's something that was selected for by evolution because men who weren't jealous, they were raising other people's kids. So like that's where it comes from. In your case, there's no kids involved. So that's not exactly the same thing. But I think that makes it difficult. And you're saying what you want is somebody who's secure with what you do, which would also lead to another difficulty because that would you tend to end up, the guys like that would be in this industry, right?
I'm not dating a model.
Right.
That's not who I'm dating.
But a model photographer, someone in this industry would have the understanding of that. Do you date people in the industry? Do you look for that specifically, or do you specifically not look for it?
No, I don't look for it, but I tend to date people who are like business owners or like entrepreneurs, or I've dated celebrities, whatever, but it's not about that for me. It's more about like, are you driven? Are you dedicated to what you do? Are you dedicated to me? Are we going to have fun together? Are we going to be adventurous together? Are you going to make me happy? Like, can I make you happy? Like, it's a teamwork thing. So for me, I don't care about how many followers you have or whatever, it's more, again, about the energy and how you are as a person and how you treat people.
Right.
So, and then it helps, like, maybe if you have dated somebody like me, it kind of helps, then like what you're getting into.
For sure.
And it's not just new to you. Like, oh, what is this? I'm going to judge everything you're doing.
So I have seen that also, where I have some friends or clients actually that became photographers or just somehow got into the industry. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, they're dating an Instagram model. And I'm like, I'm trying to explain to them, I'm like, there's some things you need to understand. And by the way, Instagram model is not the right term. Content creator, because Instagram doesn't fucking pay you. So it's not Instagram models. Right.
That's what they just call them, IG models.
Right. But the thing is, no, I'm just saying, like, that. CJ Sparks was on here. She's like, we're not called Instagram models anymore because Instagram doesn't pay us. Like, we're called content creators. We make our own content. We own our own stuff. And so, I had a buddy of mine, and he just started dating an Instagram model. And then every week it's this one question: what do I do here? What do I do here? This guy's definitely trying to sleep with my girl. What do I do here? And I was like,
oh wow.
I was like, brother, this is what this part comes with the
Welcome
territory.
to the territory. Yeah.
Like, if you're dating Tawny Jordan, it is not other guys' jobs to not be attracted to your girl. It is her job to be your girlfriend.
Yeah, to be confident, to be trustworthy, and to be respectful.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, I'm not going through all my DMs being like, who's going to message me today? Like, I'm not like that. I like barely look at them. So, like, I'm looking for the jobs and the work.
For sure.
And that's the stuff that I'm focused on. I'm very love focused. I'm love and work focused, but mostly love. Like, when I love a person, like, I'm all about it.
Yeah.
But then you start to hurt me, or like, I don't see us together anymore, then it obviously that we end up breaking up.
Are you friends with any of your exes?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. I'm pretty good with a lot of my exes. I tend to have good relationships.
When you're friends with your exes, are they always like, let's get back together? Does that happen frequently, or is it
No,
kind of
I think it's because they knew that I broke up with them, that, once I'm done, I'm pretty much done.
Once you're done, you're done.
Yeah, and then we maintain a friendship. If it didn't end badly, we have a friendship. And usually I'm either cordial or I'm friends with somebody.
Right.
So I'm pretty lucky that I've had that,
What is a typical work week like? I'm sure a lot of people would want to know this. So you're doing full-time modeling. What is a typical work week like for this? Are you online? You're checking stuff? Because people say, I'm so busy, but it's hard for me. I work in finance. I don't know. What is your busy like?
So I do a lot of things.
Okay.
I'm Jill of all trades. So I have my real estate license in Nevada and Illinois. I also have my business license here for my company.
Yeah.
And then, modeling and so it's a lot.
do you have people working for you with the modeling agency?
Yeah, I have an assistant.
All right, so talk to me about that, the formation of that, and then what is that like time-wise? How difficult is that?
So I feel like my agency is my big thing. Like I said before, I've been able to work from a distance, which is great, but I want to, grow my company even more. So that's why one of the reasons why I'm moving back to Vegas is I want to do more with it. And I really like my lifestyle here. Like, Chicago's great, but it's a little little crazy there right now, a little chaotic, a little fearful when living in the city.
You don't like the gunshots in the street? What are you talking about?
I've heard gunshots in my room before once, and not in my room, but like I heard it outside, and I'm just like, was that a gunshot?
Were you the one who mugged Jesse Smollett? Was that you? No, I'm just fucking.
No, but I've been mugged before.
Really? In Chicago?
Yeah, I had my phone stolen.
Shut up,
8:30 in
bro.
the morning. Yep.
What happened? You were walking around outside, and
I dropped off my car to get detailed. And
was it cold? Was it like cold or was it?
No, it was pretty. No? It was like fall.
Okay.
No. August. It was August.
Okay.
Mid-August. And I was just walking to go get a divvy bike because I wanted to work out and ride a bike, whatever, try to be fit. And I walk around the corner, and this guy comes up, runs behind me, grabs my phone, and starts running.
Did he hit you, or did he just grab your?
He just grabbed like my arms and stuff, and then like yanked the phone out of my hands.
That's in Europe. There's a lot. These dudes will pull up on mopeds, grab your shit, and then just
crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy there, man.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, if you were still in this relationship, would you have stayed in Chicago, or was you wanting to leave part of the reason why this relationship ended?
I think it's been talked about before. Like I knew that.
By the way, if I'm asking questions, you can tell me to shut the fuck up.
I'm very open. It's been talked about before, like if I wanted to stay there or not. It was a really hard year for me.
Yeah.
COVID, like that really
Bruh.
took a lot out on people, and it did definitely on me. And I'm like, is it COVID or is it this relationship that's getting me like this?
Yeah.
And it could have been a mixture of both. And, I wasn't really focusing on what I wanted to do and focusing on what was lacking. And after we broke up, I actually did move into my own place.
Yeah. In Chicago. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I didn't want to just give up on it just because something didn't work. I'm not like that. So, I wanted to give it a shot, feel it out, see if I still wanted to be there or not. And, I've been having a lot of fun with my friends. I've been, getting to love myself all over again and, fall in love with the me that I was before this person.
Yeah.
And that's important to me. I felt like I wasn't me in that relationship anymore. And that's when that's another thing. That's when like you can't be with someone if you're not happy with yourself. How can you be happy with someone else?
Yeah, for sure.
That was a big thing with me.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really happy.
Okay. And then you decided to move back here, I tell people.
Yeah. It was actually more recently where I was like, you know what, I'm going to come back out here. I've been looking at properties, and since I do real estate, it really helps. It's so easy for me to do it myself. Less wait time. But I just was taking a look at places and, just trying to see if I want to live here more full time or do I want to do two places, and I notice I say, a lot. Oh my.
No, it's perfect.
But yeah, I've realized that, maybe I should just move more full time here instead of spreading myself a little thin and doing two places. But I still have a place there. So I haven't said no completely to that yet, but I see myself being here more.
Right.
However, real estate does require you to be more in one spot than the other. And so
you want to do real estate. So it's the modeling agency and you want to you want to sell houses.
So I like having real estate in my back pocket.
Okay.
I would love to have my own investment properties and do stuff like that. And I've been working with clients that have they've been buying multi-homes and, that's been a lot of fun because you're learning from it as well. And I like that. That's great. And I'll still help the people that I want to work with, or I'll work with anybody, but I still see myself growing my business more. And that requires me to be out here and pursuing that a little bit more. So if I have a client that wants to go buy something, oh yeah, sure, I'll jump on a plane and we can look at properties and we can make it work because I'm like that. So, and I'm so used to traveling with work. So that to me is no big deal.
Right. I say this to people all the time. This place is a trap. You always come back. Everyone
That's funny.
comes back.
Yeah. I was here for about 5 years, and then I moved for a year, and now I'm going to come back and do it even bigger.
The thing is, like, I have friends though, like they go to LA because they want something real, and I'm like, you think that place is real? The only thing real there is the fucking traffic, dude. That's
pretty aggressive.
They always come back, man.
A lot of LA people are moving here now, I heard.
Yeah, this place is like the Austin for the rest of the country. You know what I'm saying? But it's funny because I lived in Austin before it turned into the Starbucks that it is now. Super happening place. Yeah, it used to back when Austin was weird. Keep Austin weird when we were weird back then, and I lived there for 9 years, and it reminds me very much of what Vegas felt like. What Vegas felt like a couple years ago. It feels very, very similar.
Really?
Yeah, because the locals, like there's the way we treated the locals, and the locals would go out all the time, and we would all party together and celebrate each other's birthday and that kind of thing. That whole scene, it felt like that in Austin 20 years ago. It feels like that here now, and I feel like that's why I love this place. I really do. Like, it's really going to be hard for me. And also,
great.
I can't stand. I love there's no humidity here. I love it so.
Really?
I'm from Texas, bro. That's the one thing.
It's dry up there too.
I know, not in Dallas and Houston. It is
Oh,
not,
really?
Yeah, it's wet. It's very humid.
Really interesting.
Yeah, I love it here. But yeah, that part is great. So you move here, and then so the modeling agency. Well, you said before how you feel about yourself when you're in a relationship. So now the perfect situation for Tawny Jordan is what? What is she doing every day? What is this perfect? She's building what? She's accomplishing what? What is she doing?
Oh, a perfect situation for myself. In business.
In business and the whole thing. Like describe the whole thing. You wake up every day and you're like, I don't got to go to work. I get to go to work. What is that situation like?
So normally, like a really good day, I would say wake up. I have a little dog, so I have to take care of her first.
Okay.
Before anything else.
There you go.
So take care of her, and then have a little bit of caffeine, whether it's like my matcha or my coffee. Yes. What, matcha?
Dude, have you ever tried yerba mate?
Yerba mate? My sister loves that.
That stuff is like crack. Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you, it's fantastic.
She always loves it.
Be careful because it becomes a very expensive habit. Next thing you know,
it's like $4 something a
it's $4
bottle.
something a can. Yes.
Yeah.
Man. And you will drink, you'll be pissing like a racehorse. I drink so many of those things every day. They're so addictive because they're like barely sweet, but it's like you want the sweet. And it's the best. It's the most even caffeine pull I've ever had. I get
matcha is very
yerba mate is there,
but I know
like
what
that?
You're talking about. Yeah, matcha is a very like less jittery type of caffeine. It's clean energy. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've had a sip of it before.
Yeah. So what describe this lifestyle? You get up, you get your caffeine, and then what are you doing?
Yeah, the first couple hours of the day is like about you and making yourself good for the day before you could start anything else. So whether you're working out or doing anything, journaling or personal stuff that you're doing, and then getting ready. And, I like being ready. I like looking good. I like, 'cause you never know what's going to happen in the middle of the day. If you got a meeting somewhere, if you got to go somewhere, I don't know.
So let's talk about those early things. Are you doing yoga? Are you stretching every day? Like what are the things that you're doing in the morning? What's going on?
So I have the mirror.
The mirror, okay.
So I've been doing a lot of that, but I've been getting back into the gym and doing more like fitness stuff, weights and stuff like that. So that's great. I used to do a lot of True Fusion, which I really loved here in Vegas.
Yeah.
I didn't do that in Chicago. I was just using more of the mirror or the gym.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like to do that, 30 minutes to an hour a day. And then, getting ready and just dealing with work. I'll do like a little bit of real estate, and then a lot of the rest of the day is my agency.
So we're answering emails, and then for the agency, we're answering submissions for Bella Model Management.
Yeah. So I have my assistant do some stuff too, but I answer some emails. I like to deal a lot with the clients. I'm now starting to give my assistant a lot more work to do that. I'm like, okay, you can give up some of your power, Tawny.
Delegation.
Yes, it is hard when you're a perfectionist and you have a certain way of doing things. And my business is my baby, so it's hard to give up certain things, but you can't do it all. If you want to grow, you can't do it all. You have to have people help you, and that's what I'm learning what to do.
Right.
So that's like my day is pretty much answering emails, dealing with work, like jobs, and whether I'm modeling myself and, delegating or, dealing with the clients and, planning.
Are you consistently doing castings for Bella? Are you hiring girls outside of Las Vegas frequently? Is it mostly Las Vegas? And are you getting in your own bookings?
So we're a little bit all over the place. We did a casting in Las Vegas not too long ago, and we signed quite a few girls for that one. And
just so people know,
sure.
Las Vegas or Nevada's a right to work state, and it's not like this in California. in California, if you're with Wilhelmina, you're with Wilhelmina. You don't really work for
exclusive.
anybody else.
Yeah,
You're exclusive.
pretty much. Yeah.
In the state of Nevada, it doesn't work like that, which is also why people come here and film porn and stuff like that. It's a right to work state, just like Texas or Louisiana. And so girls can actually work for multiple agencies here, which
there's a couple. I think there is one that I know of that is exclusive that you can't work with other companies.
Right, but it's not a legal matter. It's like you like there's like union things where girls will just work for one. They can put it in there. But yeah, I think for exclusivity, it's one of these things where you have to be willing to be exclusive. You can choose to not work for this company that's exclusive, is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, correct.
Anyway, so now you're booking these girls. You get how frequently? Where do you find your clients?
A word of mouth, referrals, a lot of them, some social media. I've been lucky for that. A lot of people that I've networked with in the past have worked with me, and they're like, I want to do some more work with you, or I want to hire models for stuff.
Okay.
So I'm lucky that because I started my company, is why I have a lot of these clients.
Right.
From my past work as a model.
Have you ever had crossover between the real estate stuff and the modeling stuff?
What do you mean?
Like you meet a client who eventually wants to buy a house who was from the modeling thing, or vice versa?
Not on the top of my head. No. They've been pretty two separate things.
Yeah. And how often are they saying we want Tawny also part of the the thing that
the jobs modeling?
Yeah.
Often.
Often we want Tawny part of the gig.
Yeah,
okay.
It's not like I'm taking it for myself. No, girls, I don't want you for it.
Right.
But it's because no, we want you, and maybe we'll hire some extra girls, or they strictly are just going for extra models because the rates are very different.
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. Do you find it's more I have more clients and not enough models, or vice versa?
For a period of time, I have a lot of models. I have about 147 or 48 now. For a while, I didn't have enough models to fill certain jobs over the summer because it was crazy. 2019 was insane. I was hiring left and right, but I still am very particular about who I hire. I don't just hire any model in Las Vegas and or all over. They have to fit the criteria that we look for in the agency, which is pretty glam, but now mixed with a little bit of fashion, and pretty much everything that I've done as a model, I've kind of incorporated into my agency.
For those of you who don't know, in most cities you're going to have modeling as far as like fashion and glam and different stuff like that for print work and music videos, and there's just general stuff. In Vegas, we have two things here that they don't have a lot in other cities. Number one is atmosphere models. Most cities don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
Atmosphere model. Can you describe what atmosphere models are?
Yes. So atmosphere modeling is another word or another term for image modeling.
Yeah.
Where it's usually in bigger cities where people get paid to go to places and set the atmosphere and give it a look.
All right, let me
people
translate.
Don't know that you're getting paid.
Let me translate. There's a bunch of real hot girls at the club when you show up there that when they're throwing the sparklers and got the bottle service, that a lot of those girls
are bottle servers.
No, not the bottle service.
With the sparklers.
I'm talking about the girls.
Okay. My girls aren't holding sparklers.
No, time out. We're talking about two different things. I'm talking about a lot of times you'll see girls at tables at nightclubs.
Yes.
A lot of those girls are atmosphere models.
Yes.
That's what I mean.
Yes.
What I'm saying is some of the tables where you'll see there's a bunch of girls and like two dudes and there's a bunch of guys with the sparklers. A lot of those girls are atmosphere models.
Yeah,
They're like local models here in Las Vegas.
Yes.
And that's one thing. It was $50 an hour to $100 an hour, somewhere in that area. And the other thing we have here are tons of conventions, the biggest conventions in the world, and that's more so than any other place in the world. And you'll have girls literally they'll only just do conventions. They're just here to do daytime work at conventions.
Yeah.
And so those are the two types of modeling that are kind of unique to Las Vegas as compared to other places. Atmosphere modeling, I don't think that term exists in Dallas. Like I've never, I don't think they've even heard. I think maybe a little bit in Miami.
I've had to explain it to some Texas people. Yeah.
They've never even heard of that.
Our biggest division is atmosphere, but I will say lately it's been print.
Yeah.
We've been doing a lot of print. Our brand has been growing. We do a lot of advertising with like Marquee, Tao Group in general.
Yeah.
We did a lot with Palm Station casinos. We've done a lot of stuff for different casinos. So like I've been really thankful that I've, networked and made these relationships with these people because it's really brought the agency to a different place. And I feel like a lot of the girls, they say, what's your favorite agency? And they've told me, like, I've heard girls say that this is their favorite. And I'm like, oh, that feels awesome,
Right.
It's a good feeling.
Social media, since you started until now, the rules have changed. on Instagram, they've changed pretty drastically. Can you talk about how some of these rules have affected you?
Yeah, like I guess people can get shadow banned. I've been shadow banned before.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know. I was like, what? Like I didn't know that this was bad, you know, and it's not even that bad. So, and then once that happens, actually like kind of goes downhill from there, I think, for people. Like it's hard to get back up.
Right.
Also the algorithms.
Well, I think everyone's having trouble growing. I don't think it's just,
it's not even really like it's like now you got to get on a different network, I guess, different platform.
Are you on TikTok?
So I have a TikTok, but I haven't started doing it yet. And so I'm thinking, you know, New Year, maybe I'll dabble in it.
You're going to be on my TikTok.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, TikTok for sure. There's a lot of growth there. I don't know how much of it is legitimate though. I do feel like.
What do you mean? Like people buy followers?
No, it's not. No, what I think is happening is the people who run TikTok, because U.S. agencies can't oversee them because it's a Chinese company.
Yeah,
I think there's a function of like, we understand the psychology of a dopamine hit, and what we're doing is we're taking your kids, and every once in a while we'll give them a video where they get 100,000 views. And there are 100,000 viewers, whatever, but these aren't legit. I have a video with 15 million views, Tawny.
No way.
1 million likes, yes. And while it is a terrific video, there are times where I'm like, okay, none of this, like, it doesn't really translate into anything else. I have links all over my IG and or all over my TikTok, and there was a little bit of growth in other places, but it wasn't enough for 15 million. To me, that seemed like it was like kind of madness. I personally,
it was like getting on the popular page back in the day.
But here's the thing. I think what Instagram was doing originally was organic. I think what TikTok is doing now, it's like organic. Okay, we're going to throw them a bone and we're going to give them a video where it gets 80,000 views, but it's like it's 80,000 like of their own bots. I personally do not think that the majority of what TikTok is doing is legit.
So you think it's just becoming highly addictive?
I think that's what it is. It's the dopamine.
I'm afraid of it.
It's called intermittent positive reinforcement, where it's like every fifth or sixth video you give these guys a boost. And the other reason why I think this is the case is there's a company, and I'm not going to say their name, but recently they turned like all of their marketing into TikTok marketing. They started getting with every big TikTok influencer and all these people, and they started doing a bunch of photo shoots and stuff with them, and the company absolutely tanked. Like nothing. There was no ROI from it whatsoever. Absolutely zero. And also TikTok shies away from models, from girls that like TikTok hates butts. I don't know if you know this, guys. If you don't know this, let me help you. Ladies, if you're confused about this, you want to know why your TikTok's getting banned.
You can show the front but not the back.
If you show any kind of butt, I'm telling you right now, don't take my word for it. Even in a swimsuit. Talk to I'll put you in touch with Kindly. She'll tell you. Kindly's had lost like 3 or 4. It's crazy because Kindly Myers has 3 million followers and I have 40,000. On TikTok, it's completely flipped. I have so much more engagement than her, and she's furious about it. And it's one of these situations where like she can't grow because TikTok hates the fact that she has boobs and a butt, and like she's. But
I've seen girls like that on TikTok
that are like 12 years old. Like 12 years old dancing. Yes.
Creepy.
That's the other problem with TikTok is that it doesn't, if you are a prepubescent woman running around dancing and to songs or whatever, TikTok has no problem with that.
Weird.
But girls with like shapely bottoms or whatever, they horribly hate that type of content. And so that's the other problem with TikTok. As far as Instagram is concerned, clearly the growth curve is over. And what's happened, unfortunately, is like because it's so obvious that you can purchase a blue check mark at this point. Like there's no, it's ridiculous. In fact, I don't even think there's any other way to get a blue check mark at this point besides purchasing it. And then
on TikTok?
Oh no, on Instagram. And then the issue with like people buying followers, especially I see a lot of male influencers that those are trying to push some kind of NFT company or CBD company or something like that. They'll buy a bunch of followers and then they'll go buy a blue check mark. Because of that, like Instagram has become this place where it's like there's no authenticity, whatsoever. And the only thing that I've seen that Instagram's done that I actually agree with is the whole others thing, where it's like you don't say so and so and 14,000 people like this photo. It's just so and so and others like this.
Yeah.
So they've turned that thing off. I think while I like that feature for a lot of people because it takes a lot of the stress away, I think Instagram shooting themselves in the dick for the third time. Like I think this is really stupid. Instagram had the ability to take over the world and they're choosing not to. And I also, the thing obviously that I hate the most is like you get accused of animal cruelty on your IG. There's no animals and they still take your fucking IG away. What? Yeah, I've seen this happen several. Animal cruelty is the big one. They'll get you for animal cruelty. IG will immediately take your IG away.
What are people posting?
But there's no animals. There's no animals. You're just getting mass reported. So
that's terrible.
Vice did this. Vice did an article. You guys should look this up. It's $60 to get somebody's mass reported. You can just go to something on like the dark web or something like that.
Don't promote it.
No, I don't care. Good fuck. They've probably been shut down. But that's all you have to do to get somebody mass promote. It costs nothing to get them mass reported. And so because of that, Instagram just immediately sees the mass reporting, takes your account down. I lost my account for impersonating, get ready for it, Michael Sartain. That's why I lost my account. Yeah, thank you, Instagram. And you know what makes it...
I'm impersonating myself.
Yeah, what makes it even crazier is that, like, in my situation, because I recruit for bikini competitions, photo shoots, and stuff like destination photo shoots, there's a lot of times where if I ask a girl, hey, do you want to come do this photo shoot? They'll say yes. Well, that's a dangerous thing if you're impersonating me. Do you understand why? Because now I can get girls who normally would not have shown up in real life to anything, and now they're showing up to a house or some apartment or something like that. That's dangerous. I don't have a blue check mark, though. They don't give a fuck about that. It's because the blue check mark was never about that. It was a function of status. It's not a function of safety. It's not a function of verification either. And so to me, like these things in the future are going to be problematic. I think. I think they're going to be very, very problematic where, I don't know what the future is because still the dominant platform is Instagram and there is no growth. So like, what do you do at this point? You know what I'm saying? There was always like something new to turn to. And then obviously with Facebook turning into Meta, which means I don't know what the fuck that means. Right. And then the other big thing is the crypto influencers. Like this thing is becoming where in some cases it's legitimate, and a lot of cases these are pump and dump schemes where if these were regulated securities under the FTC, these people would be going to jail. And so it's... Which people? The people who do the pump and dumps. So one of the things...
Like people creating the...
No, well, both. So like, for instance... this is what they did. If you ever watch The Wolf of Wall Street, this is what they did with the pink slips, the penny stocks back in the 1980s.
Oh, okay.
Is they would tell you, you need to buy this, you need to buy this, you need to buy this. Later on, what they did is they had celebrities that would go on their Twitter and be like, I just bought this, and then everyone would buy it. And as soon as this price went up, then all the original shareholders would sell out, and it was called a pump and dump. That's basically just a quick transfer of wealth. Okay. Well, people started doing this with shit coins. Like small cryptocurrencies, and then they would go find social media influencers who don't know anything about cryptocurrency. And really, there's no downside because there's no legal recourse. If you do a pump and dump with a cryptocurrency, you can't regulate it as fraud because it's not a regulated security. Yeah. And so what's happened is a lot of influencers have been put into a situation where they try to pump up a coin, and then all of a sudden, once the coin goes up, then everybody, the original people, pull out their money, and it's just this pump and dump scheme. And it's gotten to the point where like, now I don't know what the fuck to believe anymore. Yeah. Like we have people buying followers. We have people doing pump and dump schemes. Like the social media has become this like, I don't know, quagmire. I don't know, what's going to happen next. One of the reasons why I started doing long form content like this is because I want a clear, concise explanation of what I'm doing and what my guests are doing so that we can go back and research and understand that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's essentially where that happened. But as far as the changes in social media, you or I don't know the terms of service for Instagram because they're vague. Yeah. Apparently, if I can put a cucumber up against my boob, I'm fine. But if I touch my boob with my hand, then I get flagged. I don't get this. What is it that they're doing? I have no idea. Have you had something flagged and you like, why the fuck is this being flagged? I don't understand what's going on. Has that ever happened to you?
No, I think that I had one thing that was kind of questionable that I was like, okay, I guess. Yeah. I guess. And then like a swimsuit thing or whatever.
You took it down and then...
Oh, they took it down and then they shadow banned me and I couldn't engage for a long time. It was crazy. Like a week or longer. I can't remember. And then I just stopped for a while. But pretty much that was it. Like I haven't really had any other Instagram thing other than people making fake profiles, The
fake profiles, yeah. I mean, Tawny, you have the advantage of also being pretty in real life. Like a lot of the girls don't, and so because of that, they have to resort to doing other things which get them banned. Right?
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Because I ask every guest about this. You mentioned before about your relationships. All of your relationships have been just traditional monogamous relationships. You've never done anything monogamish outside of that ever.
Monogamish.
You know what I'm talking about?
What is no?
Like every once in a while, you guys do Molly and bring a girl home. Nothing like that.
No. Okay. No. Yeah. That.
Go on. I would never do that because of.
I'm just like a pretty like one-on-one type of person. Okay. Like I'm very intimate. I don't like to share. Yeah. I've had somebody want to share me, and then I was like, "This ain't gonna work."
Describe that. You're at dinner. He says, "Hey, I'd like to see."
I think it gets casually brought up, and then I'm just like. No, I don't share. Do you want me to share you? Do you want to? Should we put another guy into this too? Like, and they're like, no. And
wait, so he was suggesting you and another girl, and you were suggesting him and another guy. Is that what
it's kind of like, all right, I want you to hear what you're saying to me, but I'm going to reverse it on you.
But you didn't really mean it. Like, you don't want do you want the devil's threesome?
I don't want it.
Last night I was talking to this girl. She legit said, I would never have a threesome with another girl. Devil's threesome, 100%. I was like, what? I'm always so fascinated by this because everyone is so different. One of the reasons why this species is so robust, Homo sapiens, is because we want different shit. You know, the girl who likes the short guy versus the girl who likes the tall guy. You know, certain people who are only interested in certain ethnicities. I know white girls who only date black guys. I know black men who only date white girls. I've seen this whole thing because of the diversity and what we're interested in. That's the reason why the species is so robust, and there's 8 billion of us and only 400,000 elephants on the planet. We won. So in this situation, what is it? You are only just a traditional monogamist. That's it. There's nothing else.
I believe it. Okay. I did see another podcast that you do about soulmates.
Yeah.
I briefly saw it and I was like, man, I believe in that. You know,
believe in
but
soulmates.
I do believe in soulmates.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're Tawny Jordan. Of course, you believe in soulmates. Like but the problem is, like, there's a line.
Not everybody has to believe in it.
Yeah, but there's a line to the left of people that want to date Tawny Jordan. That's the difference. That's the point I'm trying to make. But my point about the soulmates thing,
they gotta court me. They gotta be a gentleman. They gotta spark some energy.
you guys
in
hear
me.
this?
Like,
Go ahead, line up.
like.
Send me, give me a boyfriend application, and I'll screen through them and I'll send them to you. No, my point about the soulmate thing is, like, you have to think about all the people that lived in the 17th century.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, all the people who lived in the 1530s and died of the bubonic plague. Where's their fucking soulmate?
Yeah, I get it.
Like Homo sapien existence has been so incredibly uneven, and we are wealthier and better looking and in better health than 99% of the population of the 110 billion people who've ever lived on this planet. We're so much luckier.
Yeah,
we're so much luckier than them, and then we're just like, we want a soulmate. And I'm like, hey, here's a crazy idea. What if the idea of soulmate is something that just came recently because of Disney and Hallmark and McDonald's and all these other places where they want us to believe that we're supposed to have a soulmate? Because I personally think it's easier for a government to control a population when they're married with kids. It's hard to be a revolutionary when you got kids at home. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, it's easier to get you to spend a lot more money on that second minivan and that family plan for the phone bill and the cable and the Netflix and the Disney Plus when you got kids at home. I think the idea of a soulmate leads to a monogamous relationship, which leads to marriage, which leads to consumerism. That's why I think we're encouraged to do that. But I don't think monogamy is the natural state for Homo sapiens, and I have not seen a single study or a single thing anthropologically to indicate that it is, because there's no proof that it's ever been like that. But the thing is, Tawny, you're prettier than everybody else. So monogamy would work. Like, I think the thing is, for you, I believe, this is just my opinion, you and me being friends for a while.
Yes.
You could get the biggest fuck boy who ever walked the planet to just be like, okay, I'll just be with Tawny. I'm not going to be with anybody else.
How sweet. Yeah, that's sweet. I want somebody who wants just me, all of me, and I'll give you all of me and all that includes that nobody knows about, like, like I'm
Can you guys imagine the things that nobody knows
you
about?
don't even know.
Yeah.
Like, I like that. I like that idea of, like, my person.
Yeah, of
like,
course.
At the end of the day, it's not always about looks. It's about everything else.
Yeah.
Like, whether it comes to, like, love or work or family, I want to be there for that person completely.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to travel with a person and grow with them and, just that kind of stuff.
Yeah, of course.
And I think that there's that person out there for sure.
Kids?
Yeah, I definitely want kids someday.
Yeah.
And I don't mind if a guy has kids. I think some people steer clear from that, but I've tend to date people with kids too.
Yeah.
So I don't mind that.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So real estate, modeling agency, eventually want kids. You're still modeling.
Yes.
You're going to end up, what is it? You're going to do the Deontay Wilder, what's his name? Logan Paul or Jake Paul. You're going to be there for that fight, holding up the ring cards.
I don't think Corona is their sponsor for that.
I'm throwing stuff
That
out
would be
there.
cool though. Sure.
You would love to do that?
I'm down.
And she's currently single, taking applications. Is that what's going on now?
I didn't know I was taking applications, but if it happened, like, I'm the type of person that has to meet somebody organically.
Okay, are you a serial monogamist? Is it monogamy, then monogamy, then monogamy? Or are there periods of singleness in between there?
There's periods of singleness.
Are they long periods? Or are they short periods? I had a relationship and then a short 15-year period of singleness and then another relationship.
Maybe not that long, but probably several months to like a year. I think a year is like my longest without somebody.
Are you happy in these periods of singleness, or?
Yeah, I think that's the most important part. I think I tend to find somebody who, when I'm already happy again, I'm like, oh, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm loving life. Like, they fall in love with this person that I am. That's happy, outgoing, fun, exciting. Like, that's who I am. And I don't think I don't like look for people. They just kind of happen. Again, organically. Like I meet them and it's just like, whoa, you know?
I just get the vibe that you're the one who chooses.
I think you make some sort of like connection and you're like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah,
you know?
Tawny, I don't think there's many dudes who meet you and are like, yeah, I don't have a connection with Tawny Jordan. They're all like the first date are like, yeah, marriage. Let's see if we can get her to marry me. Like I wouldn't worry too much about that. But yeah, I mean, it's just really interesting. That's crazy. All right, so you 100% hardcore monogamy. That's beautiful. That's good. Do you read a lot? Are there any books that you're into?
I don't read too much. I wish I did. I'm just too busy doing other things.
Have you tried audiobooks, like while you work out?
No, I do a lot of I like YouTube. I like YouTube videos.
Let me highly recommend audiobooks while you work out.
Oh, really?
Probably the single most life-changing thing.
It's going to be hard with the mirror going on at the same time.
The mirror? Well, I don't understand what you mean by the mirror.
workout mirror.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be hard when she's talking or the teacher's talking and then you're trying to do an audiobook.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's going to be a little hard. There's other workouts you could do.
You're talking about a broadcast mirror where you're watching somebody.
I have that at home.
I've never even heard of this. Like the portal, like a portal.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know what you're talking about. Girl, I thought you were looking at a fucking mirror. There's a bunch of people right now who's like, Tawny looks at a mirror and works out. That's what she does every day.
No.
I had no idea. Are there any philanthropistic stuff? Philanthropistic. Is there any charities that you support?
Not at the moment. I don't have one in particular, but like if there's some sort of like charity event, anything that like supports kids and pets and stuff, I like that.
Babes in Toyland 2022.
Oh,
Tawny Jordan's going to be there.
Okay.
Support the troops.
That sounds fun.
Babes in Toyland Pet Edition. We're going to see Tawny Jordan there 100%.
Oh, cute.
Beautiful.
Cute.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, Tawny, one of my favorite people. She finally came on the show. I'm really excited that we got her out here, guys. Please, Tawny, where can we find you?
So you can find me on Instagram. So I have 2 Instagrams right now. I have a backup account. So I have at Tawny Jordan and then at It's Tawny Jordan. And then my Twitter is at Tawny Jordan Ring. That's my OG profile.
It's Tawny. It's the Ring for being a ring girl, or is that your last name?
No, Ring is my real last name.
It's real last
A lot
name.
of people didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm like ring on your finger, ring like a ring girl.
Is it a Filipino name?
No, my dad's side, so like English.
Okay.
Yeah, or
Okay.
Irish or whatever it is.
All
My
right.
multi-ethnic background.
Right. She's like, what is her ethnicity? All of them.
Oh,
All
which
of
one
them.
do I circle?
She's all of them. Guys, thank you so much. It's funny because I have 2 guests in a row that are from Wrigleyville in Chicago, Tom Sosnoff and Tawny Jordan. We're really happy that she came out here. Guys, please like, share, and subscribe. If you enjoyed this, please go on Apple iTunes and please leave me a review. Guys, we have a lot of great guests coming up. I'm going back to back with some awesome guests coming up. Tell me who you want so I can reach out to them. I've had people reach out to me recently in the last couple of weeks that I didn't think would piss on me if I was on fire, and all of a sudden they want to come on the show. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah, man, I'm really grateful for what this new year has to come, and I hopefully, knock on wood, we have the biggest podcast in Las Vegas and maybe one of the biggest podcasts in the country. So stay tuned. We got a lot more coming your way. Stay tuned, guys. See you next week.